everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just finished my live stream and I realized that I got a member. I have a member now. Nana Beth, thank you so very much for being the first member of the Chatty Crafty channel. I appreciate you so much, and I am so sorry that I did not give you recognition during the live because I totally missed that it had happened, and I have to learn how to do that. I have to learn how to recognize when people do memberships and supers and things like that so that I can thank them at the moment, at the time. So this is the last two stores that I went to in Tampa because there were 5 stores, so we went to 5 stores, so I wanted to get all of them up within the week. And this is a beautiful set of flags that you get from Heidi Swamp, Heidi Swamp. I'm so sorry, from Heidi Swap. And in the same box, you find these beautiful little mink labels that you can run through your laminator and put whatever color foil you want on them. I thought those were really nice things to have. And this store had a lot of stuff that I didn't see in any of the other stores when I was in Tampa. So this distribution is not even consistent in stores that are within 35 miles of each other. Beautiful black fondant. Halloween is coming up. That would be a great thing to have. And they also had this beautiful blue color. But the other store that I'm doing, some of the blues that they had for their sprinkles were just amazing. This is another little Project Life piece. And of course, we're on the dollar table, and everything on this table was $1. When I went up to the register and asked about it, she said, yes, everything on that table is $1. And there were some really special items on this table. So definitely one to make sure that you get to. There were 20 of these little heart gems that were self-sticking. And then they had these little, they felt kind of like corkboard. And I don't know what these were made out of, but these were not thin. This felt more like shrinky-dink kind of plastic. There was definitely some thickness to those cacti, and they were just beautiful. And then these are cardstock punch-outs. They're not stickers. So, I mean, another set of beautiful things. I've never seen cardstock punch-out. I've seen chipboard punch-outs, but I've never seen cardboard punch-outs before. And these were, again, made by Bo Bunny, and Bo Bunny does some really beautiful stuff. So definitely something to look at. I did put that one away because I knew where it went, and I did test these. These were not bricks. So these meltables have not been melted before, so they would be awesome. And this was 5 rolls of ribbon for $1. 5 beautiful rolls of pink, different colored ribbons, different pattern ribbons. And I thought it was interesting that the box said, do not throw it away, that it was a permanent display. I don't think so anymore. I think that I do believe that ship has sailed. Look at this beautiful gold die cut piece. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And you could cut those little things apart and use them as embellishments on a card. So many different ways to use that, and so beautiful. And you can see all those bride stickers that they had there that you could put onto any sort of, I've got hen party in my head, and that's what they call them in England. Bridesmaids party. Nope, that's still not it. Well, you know what I'm talking about. The word's not coming to me. And that gold glitter paper. And this was so neat. This was an entire kit where you could make crepe paper flowers, and you got an entire bouquet of them, and it even came with the sticks and everything that you needed to do it. And then they had more of these flags over here on the other side. So this is on the other side of the dollar table. And look at these beautiful little photo albums. I'll come back to them. But look at this. And this is like real life paper. That would be beautiful in a memory book. If you were doing first day of school memory book things, and they had these beautiful little bears, 2 polar bears and a grizzly bear. And then this is a recollections item that is absolutely gorgeous. Remember those old Polaroid film things? Well, these are the frames for it. And that would be such a neat thing to do in a memory book, or in a display for a kid who's going off to college, or who has gone off to college, to give them some memories of their childhood that they can display on their desk. Gorgeous little photo albums. They had both the pink and the blue. So I thought that was interesting because the Florida stores don't get a lot of the pink aspect. They get a lot of the blue aspect. And this is where I got the journal that I showed in my live on Wednesday. This is the store that journal came in, and they had bunches of these, and they're beautiful. And you saw the quality of it. If you saw my live from Wednesday, you saw the quality of this journal, and it really is beautiful and amazing. And I absolutely love it. And I'm so glad that I was convinced to buy one of those, because I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. I really am. I've got some ideas of what I want to do with it. So I'm going to have a whole lot of fun with that. These, if you got one of the mold-it machines, and I do know that there were people who ended up finding mold-it machines for $1 in one of the area stores. I didn't get one, but somebody did, and those are the plastic sheets that you need to get to the mold-it machine. And they had that twine, and then this is another store that had these little girl power mini cards that are just beautiful to stick in a lunchbox. But if you're going to use them for paper crafting or for card making, it comes with 40 mini envelopes, and 40 mini envelopes for $2 is incredible. This is the same rose gold washi tape that we found in another store, but definitely still worth the dollar, and some beautiful little cupcake molds. I like the striped ones better. And this is a gorgeous roll of gold wired ribbon for $1. $1. And I think it was like 8 yards of the stuff. If you do wreath making or if you do any form of bow art, wow, that is a great price. And look, we found the H's. So we keep going through the alphabet. We are slowly but surely going through the alphabet. We're gonna get there. Give us a little bit of time. We will make it. We will find the entire alphabet eventually. I have faith in us. A little prop making kit, and these ribbons are beautiful, and this one was open, and I looked at it so you could look at both sides of it. You could actually use both sides of this, because if you were to print a sentiment on the back side, then you'd have that indication of flowers through your sentiment, and if you were to use the front side as decoration on your card, then you would have the flowered decoration on your card. And I thought either way that would be a beautiful way to use that. These say milk paint, and unfortunately I did not get the picture, a clear picture of the back, but I did get a clear picture of the front. And these are powder, and they say milk paint, but they're powder, so I'm assuming that you mix them with milk. And I do know that milk paint was a big thing in the late 1800s and turn of the century into the 1900s. So that might be what they were using. And here I am trying to get the instructions for it, but I'm not focused in properly, so it's not readable. So I didn't even pause it for that. But that's really a cool idea. Some more of the photo albums, but look at this cute little pineapple. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, and it was squishy on one side. Oh, I loved it. I thought that was the most adorable thing. Imagine that as a stocking stuffer or as a Hanukkah gift. And science fair project, of course. They had these beautiful little waste cans, which I don't know if I'd use that as a waste can. I might line that with some sort of plastic or some sort of tin or something and use that as a planter, because it was beautiful. Or even not even do that, just put rocks down in it and put fake foliage in it. It would be beautiful that way too, because that was just a gorgeous little bamboo. They called it a wastebasket, anything container really. Back at the pegboards, thank you so much everybody who is a member, who is a subscriber to my channel, and who has done all the things, the likes and the shares and all those things that are free to you and really help my channel so very much. I greatly appreciate all of that. I am so humbled by the number of wonderful comments that I get, and by the number of people who have chosen to subscribe to my channel for my content. I'm just flabbergasted by that. In this store, this was $9, but I've seen it cheaper in other stores. But for storing 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, that is an absolute goat. I mean, just truly a goat, because it stores so much, and it's so easy to get to. They did have the stamp markers and also the critter crayons, these little crayons that you can twist up. I love both of them. They come up in several stores. I don't know if they're part of the liquidation or if they have been put in here by other means, if they came from another source, I don't know. They did have the Fimo tassel. It's been a few stores since I've seen any of the Fimo kits, so I was surprised to see that again, because I thought they'd been sold out or something. And here are some of the other kits that they have. Now, I have had several people ask me about dotting tools for rock painting, and I've never seen one. And I did check the images of that box really carefully, and that box also doesn't come with a dotting tool. And I think, honestly, the only dotting tools that I would have seen at this point would be ones that were in some of these rock painting kits. So I'm going to start looking for that to see if any of these rock painting kits also have dotting tools in it. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, so I didn't really focus in on many of the rock painting kits, but that is something that I'm going to do in the future. This is one of those crazy things. The crazy art is apparently another liquidation that's going on. So that's where all the crazy art glue and all the crazy art paints are coming from. Some gorgeous kinetic sand, but they have another interesting way of doing it. And it's that container right next to it, but later I actually highlighted. This is cool. This is how to make a pet care business. This is something for a kid who wants to do something on their own time, or for an adult who would like some information on how to get started. And it's just a nice little kit. And then there's that Squishmallow yarn again to make a little sweat over your Squishmallow. And it says you don't need to have any special tools. You can just finger knit it together. And I thought that was neat. So I had to demonstrate that. And this is the kinetic $4.44. That's a weird price. Sand that I was talking about. So yeah, it's a weird price for that. I don't really know why they did that way. But yeah, so it's $4.44, an odd price for this stuff, but it's kinetic sand and it's in a jar and they're all layered together. And I'm not really sure if you'd be able to separate them after you mix them together, but it is a cool idea to have the different colors, at least for a little while. They had craft paper in this store, and I think this is the first store that I've seen rolls of craft paper in, and these are things that came from Party City. So there's also the Party City liquidation in here, and I'm concerned about this. These are toys, these aren't craft items, but they're all in a basket. I'm really hoping that they're just being moved to another more prominent part of the store because the holiday gift-giving season is coming and they're trying to get them ready to go. And then here's the unicorn that I found in this store, and it's cotton candy, and we didn't buy it. They only had one, but that was it. And then the bonus store. Like I said, there were 2 stores in this video. And this is the store that I ran into one of the guild in, and it was so neat to run into a member of the Chatty Crafty Guild while I was in one of the stores doing my videos, and it was so fun to speak with her, and it was so enlightening and enriching and empowering to meet with someone and to talk to them, and I had a great conversation with her, and I'm hoping that she feels the same way, that her time was well spent having a conversation with me. So I do want to put that out there, and thank you so much for the conversation, and thank you so much for the camaraderie that we shared. And she actually had some really good ideas on how to make cardstock thinner using packing tape. And I thought that was interesting. She said there were videos on how to do it so that you could make it into more of a decoupage thickness if you like the cardstock pattern, but it's too thick to use with decoupage. So that was interesting. The little pink polka dot ones, they were a little bit fuzzy if I remember correctly, and this is just beautiful. The colors on that are great. And Brazil, we got more Brazil paper for $1. These are beautiful pink sheets of Brazil cardstock for $1 a piece, and that is an unbelievably great price. Oh my gosh, it is such a good price. Such a good price. I mean, Brazil is a great brand. I saw this and I immediately thought Beetlejuice. I just did. I did. I mean, Beetlejuice. And then look at this. $1.99 in this store, but that is a huge quantity of thinner gold ribbon. And then these are really thin ribbons. I believe there were 4 feet per roll, so it's 25 cents a foot to buy these. You can get a lot of cards out of each one, and they had so many different ones that are very definitely for the holiday season. So this is a perfect time for these to come out because these are absolutely holiday centered and holiday centric rolls of ribbon, and they have so many different varieties of them, which is nice to see because you know as well as I do that a lot of times the boxes have one item in them and it's one option and you don't have any other options. They had individual canvases there for $1, and then the box of glitter looked like it only had gold and silver in it. This is the one of the, I believe there was, yes, there's another resin mold in this store. That was one of them, and that was the diamond resin mold. Look at the beautiful colors. Look at the beautiful blues. And that green, I was thinking that for Halloween, but look at that beautiful blue. That's amazing. And these would be perfect for decorating Christmas cookies or whatever other baking you do for the holiday season. I mean, you could honestly pick this up for super cheap and you'd have everything that you'd need. Pardon that, my husband just yawned in the background. And they had these beautiful roses, which I haven't seen the rose accoutrements for the baking goods before. This was the first store that I saw those in. And they had a lot of really nice different decorations for baked goods. And I just, you know, we've seen a lot of it. A lot of the stores have a lot of it, but this one had some that I hadn't seen. I had seen the unicorns before, but you know, I have to point out the unicorns. Ever since I found that actual unicorn, those Zig two-way pens, I keep on pointing out unicorns that I find. It's just a silly thing that I've decided to do. I don't know how long I'll keep it up, but I'm doing it for now. So let's see, they had these little chalkboard pieces. This was the end of the dollar table stuff. They had these beautiful little molds for tails. Again, the weird tie-dye pack. I did not buy any of these because they didn't say what kind of ink it was, whether it was dye ink or whether it was pigment ink. So I didn't buy any of those. And then they also had this, which I pointed out several times would be great for a junk journal because it's a lot of paper for a low price. Beautiful pink rolls. And I'm going to pause it here in a second because I found that I did not focus on another set of ribbon that I should have. This is graphite glitter paste, and I meant to pick one up and I totally forgot to. But, you know, hey, it would not be me if I didn't forget to pick something up. But down there in the bottom, see that ribbon down there? That is thin pink ribbon. And again, it's Park Lane, so beautiful stuff. They have the astronomy poster board and some polka dots of multicolored paper, and they also had this end cap that had a whole lot of the fondants and the melting chocolates and things like that on. And back to the pegboards. And again, I just have to say thank you so much to everyone who has chosen to subscribe to my channel. I am at almost 800 subscribers as I'm making this voiceover, and I am so blessed and humbled by each and every one of you. And I am so flabbergasted by the amount of support and kindness that I have been shown. And I thank each and every one of you for every bit of that. I really appreciate everything that you do for my channel, whether it's liking, subscribing, sharing the videos, watching them all the way to the end, making comments on them. I love all that. That is beautiful. I do also have memberships and a Patreon if you're interested in a more monetary support of my channel, but that is by no means necessary. And I appreciate the free stuff just as much as I appreciate the people who choose to support the channel in other ways. So anything that you're doing is enough. Whatever it is that you're doing, anything that you are doing to help my channel grow, that's enough. And I appreciate you for that. This comes with clay, and I couldn't find out if it was air dry clay. I think it's air dry clay. I don't think it's baked clay, but I may be wrong. But it's got the directions to make little kawaii food things that you can make into pencil toppers for your pencil, which I thought was super cute. This one had some really cute kits that would make really great holiday presents and birthday presents for anybody. You know, there's several other holidays coming up soon. You've got Valentine's soon enough. You've got Easter soon enough. There's all sorts of holidays that are coming up that any of these kits would be an awesome present for. And I'm going to say again, I really truly believe that crafts should be put in the hands of everybody so that everybody has the opportunity to express themselves in a way that doesn't require them to, you know, write things out. They can express themselves with color and with line and with direction and with design, and they don't have to worry about, you know, spelling, and they don't have to worry about punctuation or grammar. They can they're allowed to express themselves in a more authentic way through crafts. That's my personal opinion. Share it, don't share it. I'm just going to put it out there. That's the way I feel about crafts. I feel that crafts should be in the hands of everyone. So these kits would be a perfect way to do that, a perfect way to get crafts into the hands of people who would be benefited by the ability to express themselves in ways other than written. And who knows, you might have the next Picasso, you might have the next Dali, the next Van Gogh. You know, you might have that person already around you, and they just need a little bit of support and a little bit of encouragement. So those are my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it. We're about to leave this little section, I do believe, and we're going to go to a shelf unit that has an awful lot of different styles of crafts. It was pegboards, with the EK Tools chalk is there. I see this EK Tools chalk so many different places, and I really wonder, is that EK Tools chalk permanent? Because for me, my idea of chalk is that you can erase it and you can get rid of it. And I'm wondering if that EK Tools chalk is permanent, because I keep seeing it. It keeps coming up, and I can't think that the EK Tools chalk, if it weren't permanent, would be so popular. And I don't know, I don't do chalk art. That's not one of my chosen crafts. So those of you who do understand chalk art or have used those EK Tool chalk sticks, if you would please drop a comment and let us know the way that you use them, and you know, help us learn about that particular product, because I see it all the time. Cute little thumbtacks that are there, and more items. There's the Heidi swap item down there in the lower left-hand corner, and I do eventually show it, but not very well. This is not one of my best videotaped stores. I will openly say that this is not one of my best ways of doing this, and a lot of it is I was so excited for having met a guild member, and I was so thinking about, you know, conversation and all those other things, because my brain goes 90 to nothing when things happen like that, and I consider everything. So I really wasn't paying attention to how I was videotaping this, and I apologize that this is not up to my standard, but it was a valid store to put out there, and it did have some neat items in it, so I did want to put it out there anyway, even though it's not one of my best videotaped stores. Yeah, this was a neat item. They have the cricket shirts, but this time it was the extra large kid shirts. So we've seen the, excuse me, 6 to 9 month baby onesies and the kid shirts that were extra large. And there were more in this store, but apparently I didn't get a video of it because I've seen all of this video and the rest of them didn't show up in the video. And this is from Art Journaling, and it's just a bunch of different ways to attach things down. It's got dots and stickers and squares, and there you can stop it, and or you can read all the items that are in there. And it's just a really nice little compact thing. I believe it was $2, which is a great price for all those different things that you can use in your art journals or in your junk journals. And it's just beautiful stuff for you to use. Well, I'm going to say it again, but there they are. I'm going to stop myself from saying that a third time. This was cute. It had nothing to do with this particular area, but that would be a cute little paintbrush holder. Really pretty. And these were $5. These are the same cutters the same trimmers that I found for $1 at another store in the Tampa area. So not only does the materials that are available at each store change from store to store to store, but the price does too. So this is definitely a store where you go and you hunt. This is a store chain where you go and you hunt up what items you're looking at. And here I finally show the Heidi Swap item. I don't show it well, but I do finally show the Heidi Swap item. They had it in 2 different places, and then that one was just randomly set on the shelf. They do have the large green cricket smart vinyl, but I didn't see any of the other colors in the big rolls, but there is a small roll of the blue that I'm about to show you. And that's the only small roll of the blue that I saw in the store. So I don't know if it had sold out or if it was hiding somewhere else. This, you're apparently supposed to have a printer that will print on washi tape. And this is a tool that you use with that printer sold separately to print perfect straight lines on your washi tape or on your ribbon. I thought that was an interesting idea, but I've never heard of that before, and I've never seen the printer. So it's something interesting to look at. I might look it up sometime and see what all it says about it. And then they had some acrylic, and this was obviously something that was just tucked in away. And they also had this for art journaling, and this is an art journal. It's actually got the spiral bound book that you can use for your art journaling. So that's another option. And I only saw the one. I don't know where it came from. I just handed it to my husband so that he could put it elsewhere, because it didn't belong where it was there. So he found a blank spot. And then I found this one resin mold. This is the one that makes the square box and the round box, because it's got the lid mold as well as the box mold. And I didn't even show that beautiful little sloth thing. See, this is not my best work. So please don't judge my channel on this particular store, because this store was not my best work, because I was so excited for having run into a craft member, a guild member, a Chatty Crafty guild member that was just amazing and awesome. So this is very definitely a bonus video with bonus footage. I loved this. This is 2 paint-by-number sets from Arteza. Every time I see a new Arteza thing, I'm just more and more impressed by the Arteza company and the Arteza, perfection ethic that they seem to have. This store actually had 2 different sets of these $2 40 note card sets. And they had these interesting acrylic paints. That little set right there, they're really interesting. I haven't seen acrylic paints like that. This is the other set of the little 40 note cards that they had. And just really cool stuff to see. And they had the little pump finger paints, and this was the resin coloring thing. So this store actually did have 3 resin items. I did find this big pack of the gold foil for $2.99. So you got 12 sheets for $2.99, which does come down to 25 cents a sheet. So it's the same price. And they also had that one package of the bumpy ones. And this is cool. I mean, imagine cutting out those X's and O's and making it as a border on a Valentine's Day card. That would be so interesting. It would be a really cool way to use that. I don't know what this is. There's 18 pages of it. I could not see anything about what it was, who made it, anything. And then they had these really cool little gift totes. And I think there were $1.99 for 10 of them, so 20 cents each. So that's these 2 stores. Thank you for watching the bonus video. Thank you so much for interacting with my channel, and the likes and the shares and the subscribes and the watching all the way and the comments. I love it all. I appreciate it all. I am humbled by it all. And I absolutely love the way this channel is growing. So thank you very much. Cheers and happy crafting.